So it makes my existence, guys, exceedingly difficult. It does. It's like, and I'm existing. I'm not living. I'm just existing because I'm on the fringes of society big time. I have no interest in throwing myself into this world the way it is right now, sort of thing. And because I refuse to do that, nobody wants to bother with me, you know. And because I refuse to do that, even what I'm trying to do here now, with what I'm trying to get ahead with my channel and all the rest of it online, and the things I want to talk about and the conversations that I want to have and all the rest of it, I'm getting nowhere because I'm hitting an audience and a control structure, it seems like, that refuses to push and promote my material enough, and then an audience that couldn't be bothered with it anyway because they're just so lost in this weird, strange place, where they're just kind of going with the flow and just letting technology take over their lives and shape their minds and shape their perspectives and all the rest of it. And not once it doesn't appear that any of them stop, pull themselves back a bit, and think about what they're doing and what this is doing to them, sort of thing. And to ask themselves questions and say to themselves, is this good? Is this wise? Is this healthy? Do I need so much of this? What is it doing to me? How is it shaping me? What kind of person is it turning me into? Is it a good person? Is it a healthy person? Is it a person that can take on this world better and take on problems in this world better and all the rest of it, sort of thing? And, like critical thinking that the people say, sort of thing. So it's almost like technology now has become the new religion. AI is becoming almost like another religion, another type of technical prophet sort of thing that everyone's got to look to and get advice from and be enlightened by and all the rest of it. And the AI is what we have created ourselves, sort of thing. Some mind had to manifest that AI that other people now are clicking into and just vegetating to, sort of thing, because they don't contribute anything else to it themselves. They just utilize what somebody else is creating, and they just let it further dumb them down. And to the point that's like, we're going to get to a point, guys, where we do zero thinking for ourselves whatsoever. And we didn't come into this life to become vegetables to an outside technology that's not even, has no spirit to it, has no, it's something that we are manifesting out of our own consciousness, our own minds, that we are allowing to invade our lives more and more and more, all aspects of it. The AI spending all this time online and all the rest of it, sort of thing, where it should be much more better served if you were just to turn your smartphone off, turn your computer off, and just spend an entire day out in the woods somewhere, guys, or walking along some trail somewhere, or sitting on the beach somewhere, watching a sunset, like I used to love doing when I was growing up, guys, out home, because I'm from a coastal community, a fishing community, and just allow that sort of thing to absorb into your being, to absorb into your body, your soul, your mind, your essence, the energies of creation itself, the energies of the world itself, Mother Nature and all the rest of it, to open your energies up to those energies and to become connected with them. The very act of doing that, guys, alters your perspective, alters your awareness vastly, drastically, so that you perceive things in a vastly different way than if you're spending every waking hour locked into your smartphone and completely soaking up social media and everything connected with gaming, all the endless advertisements I get for gaming and so on, guys, that I see when I'm online, sort of thing. It's all the same thing. The zombie apocalypse and all this violence and all this gore and all this negative stuff and all this, like, nothing that is the least bit edifying at all. And you were 24/7 absorbing that, sucking it in, absorbing it into your mind, into your body, into your soul, into your essence, and it's beginning to define you and turn you into some, like I say, some weird species that I myself can't relate to, don't know how to relate to. And then all this modern music, so-called music, how that's been dumbed down insanely, and just the same old rhythms, the same old beats, the same old melodies, the same old lyrics that you can barely understand anyway most of the time, sort of thing. And so much of it is negative, and so much of it is tensed up, and so much of it is just, and you're soaking all this stuff up, guys, and it's just. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all, And somehow you have to have the ability. And I know in this day and age it must be harder than ever has been before, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You can't escape it. But you need to try to find some way to escape it, and step away from it and think. To have the ability to sit down and actually think. About what you're doing and how this is shaping your life and what direction it's putting you into, sort of thing, So, I mean, this is, I think, one of the key differences differences between being spiritual and being religious. So, a spiritual person will. They don't allow themselves to be defined by somebody else's religious dogma. And a spiritual person will understand. I think most people that kind of get anywhere with their spiritual paths and become like deeply, they go deep into their own personal spiritual paths. They come to realize a few basic things throughout their lives. And one of the things, it doesn't take you too long to become aware of it, guys, that every religion that has ever come into existence, every religion, okay, ever, all the main ones that exist in the world currently, everyone that has existed, that has faded out, of existence now, sort of thing, it all began with a spiritual individual that had spiritual insights. They gain those spiritual insights through doing certain things that open up their mind and open up their consciousness and open up their awareness of things, so that deeper concepts could come to them, that they could articulate for other people to edify other people. And over time, those insights got twisted into dogmas, like religious dogmas. That over time, the less insightful, the less deep, the less willing to go the same path and to do the same things, just became fanatical about. So my guru said such and such, and my prophet said such and such, and my religious teacher said such and such, and this is what I believe, this is what they told me, and this is what I'm going to go by, sort of thing, and not even exercising the same techniques that they exercise themselves to gain those insights to begin with. And so this is one of the key things that marks people like myself as being completely different from the religiously minded individual. So the religiously minded individual would take a spiritual concept and a spiritual, a path that probably the person was using for themselves, but were still willing to share their insights with others. And they will then twist that and distort it and corrupt it to a point that they turn it into a religion, but a religion completely devoid of the higher concepts and the higher, pure, bitter energies that came with the concepts to begin with. You know what I'm trying to get across to you here, guys. And so with my spiritual path, I don't know what you call it that way, but like the religious background that I come out of, we'll say, I've always thought that is a glowing example of everything that I'm talking about here right now. And the research, there have been people that have spent their entire lives, guys, researching the origins of this religion, this particular religion of Christianity. Okay, there are people that have spent their entire lives research in depth. I mean, they have dug up every bit of material, every source, every manuscript, every single solitary thing that they can get their hands on, spent their lifetimes at it, probably small fortunes at it, to come up with as clear and as accurate a picture as we seem to be able to so far of how this particular religion came into existence. And what I find exceedingly frustrating, and even for me to experience frustration, probably it shows lack of spirituality in me as well, because I probably shouldn't feel that, is that the religiously minded individual won't look at that. They won't open themselves up to the possibility that there could be some credence to these findings and what these people are telling us about how this particular religion came into existence. So there's two individuals that I can think of off the top of my head. There's probably been no end to the saints, the sages, the great enlightened individuals that have come to this planet, that have existed for a time, that have tried to elevate our consciousness, pass from this plane of existence, and pass into history, and somehow, for whatever reason, their paths, their spiritual paths that they began, never caught on, and they were forgotten about, and everything that they tried to share and open up, probably, it was forgotten about. There's probably no end to these people. But the ones that we are aware of, the ones that have been preserved for us and all the rest of it, out of all those that have been preserved and that have a spiritual path that has come down to us to this day and age, the two that stick out in my mind, of course, is supposedly the founder of the Christian religion and the founder of Buddhism. So the individual that began the Buddhist path seems to me to be a very highly enlightened individual who went through a lot, quite the journey to come to where he came to get his spiritual knowledge and enlightenment and insights and all the rest of it. And the one next to him, they're almost on the same level as far as I'm concerned, is Jesus himself. What I'm choosing to call Prince Yeshua now, to divide myself from the religion of Christianity, to bring it back to his Jewish roots, to use his Jewish name. And the reason I just use the term Prince, not because I see him as being necessarily any better than ourselves, because we can all rise to his level, guys, but it's because he was a prince among men. Basically, he lived an exemplary life, and he got the title of Prince of Peace by somebody long ago. I feel no need to take it away from him, sort of thing. And for that reason, and because he lived a life of such a high nature, he can be considered a prince among men. So, but beyond those two guys, I'm not myself personally, I haven't delved that much into the various religions of the world, sort of thing, and the founders of those religions to know if there are others that would be on the same par, at the same level as either Buddha or the Prince Yeshua. And but when you study their lives, when you take them outside of the religions that formed up around them, sort of thing, you get a very different understanding, particularly with Jesus, Prince Yeshua, because in my humble opinion, he could quite likely be, guys, one of the most misunderstood individuals that ever walked the face of this earth. The more I read, the more I research, far above and beyond anything that Christianity shoves them down our throats, sort of thing. Um, and how he lived his life and what he was trying to get across to people and all the rest of it, sort of thing, he has got to be one of the most misunderstood individuals that ever walked the face of this earth, sort of thing. And so a part of my own personal quest, because of course I came into this life, I came into a Christian background. I've read a lot of stuff and done research and so on that from spiritual New Age gurus and people that believe in reincarnation, that teach reincarnations and reincarnation and reasons for reincarnation and so on, and people who have had near-death experiences that have been exposed to information about reincarnation and so on and so forth, that claim that we choose all of this before we come into this existence, guys. So, so of course that's not taught in Christianity. I don't know. It may have been very very early on. This is the thing, where you need to step outside of the dogma that's been shoved down your throat that you've been brainwashed to believe, and allow yourself to be open to other possibilities of how your religion came into existence to begin with. And teachings concerning reincarnation seem to have been a big part of the teachings and concepts of the first initial followers of Yeshua. So you know, it's like, so I'm going to be more open to it if I know that there were those the forerunners to this religion who were also open to it as well and believed that there was this distinct possibility. One of the things that's taught in that belief system is that we choose these lives. We choose the people that we're going to mix with, and who will be our parents in this life and all the rest of it, sort of thing. So I had to ask myself, because of course I don't remember any of this myself. I don't remember any previous lives. I don't remember any previous existence in between lives and so on, that I made all these decisions. That if there is truth to that, what in the heck was I thinking at that time? That I chose to incarnate here in this province at this time, amongst these people in this religion, sticking out like a sore thumb, like mad, my entire life, sort of thing. What was the purpose for it all? Why am I here? You know,